Hello, I'm Kai. I'm a non binary trans man and I use they and he pronouns. I just wanted to share some little hints throughout my childhood that pointed towards me being trans, because there were quite a few looking back, and I'm not going to go into every single one, but just a few. There were the basic things like always wearing boy clothes and swimming with swim trunks and a t shirt, throwing a fit if I was forced to wear girl clothes. Or just like not caring at all that everyone thought I was a guy and referred to me as like he, him, boy, son, brother, etc. But there are some littler things that I just wanted to share. So this was me as a kid. That's kind of hints enough, honestly. But like, that kid is obviously trans. But now into the stories. A general theme throughout my whole childhood was an absolute and somewhat irrational hatred of all girl things, because I didn't want to be a girly girl. I was a tomboy. And like, I was a real tomboy, not those fake ones who secretly liked being girls. Could you imagine? So I would take these online quizzes all the time on a site called Quizilla. They were, are you a tomboy or a girly girl quiz? And I would find the options, figure out which ones were the tomboy answers, which ones were the girly girl answers, and alter myself to fit into it better. Like, if there was something I liked that was under the girly girl option, I would make myself not like it anymore. Like, um, just stupid things like, oh, girls like drama, boys like action. So I had to like action, and I can't like any drama shows, which still bothers me to this day. I get embarrassed about liking drama, which doesn't make any sense. But in my head, I'm still like, when you were like 9, that quiz said it was for girls. You're a girl. I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. Come on, man. Or just like, oh, I only listen to male vocalists because a quiz told me that's what tomboys did, and girly girls listen to girl musicians. So I only listen to males because I thought that I had to, because I didn't want to be a girly girl, or just a girl for that matter. Or just like, I would take these really big steps because I thought that girly girls took little dainty steps. So I would take these massive steps. They were too big for me, and I wasn't even that tall. I'm still not that tall, actually. But that's a problem for another time. Nothing you can do about being short. No, I'm not even short. I'm like, okay, I'm short for a guy, but I'm not short for a girl. I'm like average. I'm 5'5". Doesn't matter. Anyway. So big steps. When I joined Air Cadets when I was 12, and we had to learn to march, but I was taking these big steps, so I was just stepping on everyone, and they're like, I know you have tall siblings, so you probably take long steps to keep up with them, but you can't do that. And I'm just like, in my head, I didn't say any of this stuff out loud. In my head, I was like, no, I do that because girls take small steps. Just, I don't know. It was weird. And I'm still self-conscious about the way I walk. It's actually one of my biggest sources of dysphoria is based around posture and walking, which is silly, but that's how my brain works. Actually, speaking of Air Cadets, I got to a high enough rank, warrant officer, where I'd have to be formally addressed. Usually you would be addressed by your last name and your rank, but once you got to warrant, you were either sir or ma'am, based on if you were a boy or a girl. I wanted to be called sir, but they were all like, no, you have to be ma'am because you're a girl. And I was pretty salty about it. I'm still salty about it. I wanted to be sir, not this stupid, stinky old ma'am. But yeah, I was supposed to be called ma'am, and I didn't like that. I wanted to be sir. I thought it was cooler. When I was around 3 or 4, I was really into Dragon Ball Z. If you watch that, there was a character named Gohan, and he was a kid around the same time I was a kid. And he got this haircut. It was a really bad bull haircut. But I wanted to be like him. So little kid me, I went into my room, got some scissors, and I gave myself a bull haircut. And I think I did a great job, honestly. Here's a picture of my beautiful bowl cut. And because of this, I was sort of punished by not being allowed to grow my hair again because I would just cut it. But that punishment also transferred onto my younger sisters, who did not enjoy that so much, having to have a bowl haircut for the first several years of their lives. Sorry, guys. Around that age, I also found out my dad and brothers would pee standing up. And I was just like, why didn't I get taught how to pee standing up? Just what? That's not fair. So I taught myself to pee standing up, and I can still do it to this day. Not very well, mind you, but I can do it. I also have this clear memory of when I was around 7 or 8 years old. I was at Toys R Us with my dad to buy birthday present for myself. Because in my house, we would buy our own birthday presents with my dad's, would give us a set amount of money, and that way we could always get something we liked. Anyway, I was really into Battle Beat 'em On at the time. So I was just in the guy section getting all these Battle Beat 'em On. And at one point my dad's like, what if we just get one thin from the girl section? And I was just like, how dare you suggest such a thin? I didn't want to go to the girl section. No. I wanted to be the boy section with cool toys. I mean, I did have some girl toys. I did. But at that age, at least, I wanted just the boy toys. And then getting a little bit older, around 10 years old, I joined the Cub Scouts, which is like Boy Scouts, but for like a little slightly younger age, about 8 to 10. I could have joined the Girl Scouts, but nah, I don't want to do girl stuff, like bake cookies. I wanted to do the fun stuff, like camping and climbing stuff, and yeah. I would always play as boy characters. We had this game with my siblings. We called it HWP, which was Humans with Powers, but it was pretty much LARPing. It was LARPing. But we didn't know what LARPing was. So I always played as a boy, but all my other siblings always played as characters that matched their assigned gender. And I just found this out like last week. One of my sisters was telling me that she was thinking about that, and when she was a kid, it made her really mad. She was like, why is Kai playing a boy when they're not a boy? Which I didn't know this until last week, which is kind of funny. But yeah, I also apparently ruined her idea that girls were good at language and boys were good at science because I was good at science and bad at language, but all my other siblings fit into that model. Not saying that those are gendered in general, but like, it's kind of funny. So I was also really into like gender bending shows and movies themes. Like I was really into Mulan and She's the Man. And there was this one episode of a show called Lloyd in Space. I think it was called Neither Boy Nor Girl. So the premise of the show was just a bunch of like alien teenager preteens just kind of doing stuff. But in this episode, a new alien comes and none of the main characters can figure out if they're a boy or a girl. So they give a bunch of stereotypical masculine or feminine based tests. But none of them seem to work. They just seem to do all the things. So then they find out that that species of alien gets to choose its gender on its 13th birthday. Its 13th birthday arrives, and the main characters are like, all right, so what'd you choose, boy or girl? And they're just like, nah, not gonna tell you. And the episode ends. That was so cool to me. I was really into that episode, and I didn't know why. I didn't question it either. I was just really into it. Now it's like, do we have non-binary representation in an old cartoon? I mean, not that old, like 2000s, but still, that's kind of cool, actually. After I hit puberty, there was some more obvious things, like I would lie down flat on my back on like my bed, and just to watch my chest fall to the side and disappear. And I'll be like, this is like what I would look like if I had a boy flat chest. Or like when that stopped working, I would like push them to the side and be like, flat. But I didn't question why I did that. I just did it. Or also after puberty, I was like, man, I miss when I was a kid and everyone thought I was a guy. I wish some days I could just disguise myself as a boy just to feel that again. Again, didn't question it and didn't come out until I was like in my 20s. But there's reasons for that, which I might get into in a different video. On a somewhat more obvious side, there was the fact that I was and still really am into trans YouTubers. Like, I would watch so many all the time because I just thought it was neat. I would also read a lot. I read a lot of fan fiction. And I would filter the results to read stories where they were trans characters instead. And again, I just told myself I thought it was a neat concept. It was just cool. Same reason I was also really hyped and into when the show Degrassi introduced a trans male character named Adam. Degrassi was a show that I'm embarrassed to admit that I like because it's too girly, but honestly, at this point, I don't care because I do a ton of girly things anyway. Yeah. I also, when I was a teenager, came across non-binary identities on the internet, and I was all like, it's a good thing I didn't have a Tumblr, because I would have been one of those not like the other girls non-binary people, right? It's a good thing I didn't. Yeah, that's the only reason I'd feel that way. Yeah, and yeah. Oh well, here we are now. I am out to everyone as a non-binary trans man, which yes, you can be both. I might discuss that as well at another point. Well, you can watch other videos on it that are way better than mine. So yeah, I think that's about it for now. Those are just some little stories I felt like sharing. I might make more videos, I might not, I don't know. I just felt like doing this. So